Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. We are brought to you by Yellow Jacket. Guys, you guys know that Yellow Jacket is stuck behind us since day one, this podcast inception, and we want to thank them for that. Guys, I want you to stay tuned, pay attention. Me and Kelly are going to be dropping little clues, little hints that we are going to be giving away something from Yellow Jacket. You guys have all liked the P51 870 manifold that's came out. You know that I have had one to try out. Well, I want to give that to you guys. So in each podcast, we're going to drop little things in there on how you're going to be able to win that in our giveaway before Christmas. So you're going to have to listen to find out. So all those guys not listening, you're not going to have them. So guys, remember, Yellow Jacket, 66 years of expertise built into every tool.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the USA.
If you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended, because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Kelley and Kelly McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelley.
Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? To episode 21 of the HVAC Uncensored podcast, man. I'd like to welcome you guys back this week. Getting back into the groove of things. Kelly's back, no longer doing his thing in Arizona. So let's introduce Mr. Kelley. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. It does feel weird. We were talking before the podcast began. It just feels weird because we didn't meet for 2 weeks. We knocked out 2 podcasts one Saturday morning and didn't meet for 2 weeks. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. Me and Kelly were talking. It's just, we have a certain routine that we know we record on a certain night and editing happens on certain nights. You know, it's down to a science now. And I'd come home from work and sit down and be like, man, I think I'm supposed to be doing something right now.
So he got to play with his twig and berries instead.
Hey, it was a good time though. We got to,
that's
rekindle.
Exactly right.
Yeah, we got to kindle that old fire again. Old Rosie. It's good though. They fell in love again.
Yeah. So how's business, man?
It's good, man. It's we're not booming like we were before. It's kind of up and down. We're steady. We've had quite a few installs, which is still pretty good. Service is kind of up and down just because of the weather here. It'll be like 30 degrees for a couple of days, and then it'll get up to 60. So,
same here. Same here.
Today it was pretty cold. Today, well, it was cold because of the wind. It was like in the mid 30s, something like that. But I know where my phone is. I think this weekend is supposed to go up into like the mid 50s. So who knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, we've been up and down. It's back and forth. I mean, some days busy, and I don't know. It's been pretty good. I mean, we, like you said, we're steady. And we've had more snow here in our region, I think they said, within the last 2 years combined, in just like a 2-week span, which was only like, I don't know, 2-3 inches. I don't even know how much we got. I was gone. I was in Arizona. So
go figure.
Where it was like 72 degrees there. So, but yeah, we got more snow than we've had. So it actually feels like winter really early. So I'm excited about that because guys in my area throughout the Midwest, and anybody who lives throughout the Midwest can tell you, like, we've had shitty winters the last couple of winters. Now, I do remember last winter, it was relatively cold. Like, we went through a couple of cold snaps where it was that bone chilling cold. It's like what I envision Gil having on a regular basis up there in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like, you step outside and the wind just cuts right through you.
Yeah, we definitely have those. Our winters have been off and on though too, but when we have a bad one, it is rough. I mean, that's when we start getting like, multiple feet of snow. Like I forget how long it's been since the last good blizzard we've had, when we've gotten like 4 feet of snow and shit shut down. I wouldn't mind having it though. I'll take a couple feet of snow. I'm to the point now where I'd rather just get fucking cold and stay cold. I hate this up and down shit. It's a pain in the ass. It's hard to plan. And then you got, family stuff, not even work stuff. People getting sick, guys getting sick, technicians getting sick, having to miss work. It's a pain in the ass.
Definitely a pain in the ass. You're like sweating inside, step outside, and I don't know. I get it. I thought I was getting sick last week, and I still got a little bit of crap hanging on, but it never totally set in because I never know what's going to happen, man. When my chest starts getting tight and I feel my sinuses draining, I'm either going to 2 days later I'm going to the doctor, or it kind of turns around. And this time it just turned around. So thankfully I didn't get sick.
Yeah, I hate it. One thing I can say, man, is having like the UV lights and the IPG things on my units, they have helped, because I noticed before I had that kind of stuff on my systems at my house, having a bigger family, when one person would get sick, that virus gets sucked up into the unit, comes out, and then everybody starts to get sick. Now I've noticed that once it gets sucked up in there, it gets killed, and that virus isn't getting passed through everybody in the house. So I do like that feature of having it, because I have noticed that since I put that stuff in.
That shit works. Like if you don't have some indoor air quality products in your house, I just have like the portable air scrubber. But those products work, and the best way to communicate that to any customer is by having some personal experience. So definitely the stuff that you guys are offering to your customers out there in the field, be sure to put it in your house, and that way you can have your own personal experience to talk about. Those things definitely work though.
It's funny you said that, because that's how I got it in my house. When I bought the new systems for my house, my salesman is a friend of mine, and we were just joking. Actually, it's before I bought my systems, he had asked about how are you guys doing on IAQ sales, and I said we're doing okay. I said it's just a hard sell, and he's like, well, do you have it in your house? I was like, no. And he's like, well, how are you going to sell it to somebody else? He said, and he worked out. He knew that I was going to be getting systems, so he pretty much gave me this stuff when I bought my systems. I spent quite a few $1,000s with him buying 2 infinity systems. I'm sorry, inverter systems. But when I put those in and I actually saw firsthand what they could do, it was fucking life-changing. I won't even lie. I mean, it was like, man, now I won't go without it. I mean, if something happens to them, I'm going to buy another one. If I move, I'm going to put it in the new house. That's how life-changing they are. They really are good.
Yeah. Did you notice like a reduction in odors and stuff throughout the house too? Or even when you're cooking something that normally would stink up the house, did it, knock that down a level or completely take it out?
Yes, it does. And 2 things that I'll tell you. I mean, obviously having, 4 children, my daughters are younger, when they're in diapers, anybody who has, quite a few kids, that sometimes it smells like a fucking daycare. You change diapers and that smell, shit or whatever it is, kind of lingers in the room for a little bit. With this stuff, it's gone. It'll be there when you're changing a diaper, and then bam, it's gone. Like literally, you can walk out of that room, go grab a drink, come back, and it's gone. That has been great, because my wife used to hate it. She always like burning candles and stuff, and she's, it smells like a fucking daycare in here. Like I feel like I gotta take the kids outside to change diapers and bring them back in because this goddamn smell. And it really did help.
Every time you walk into the house, you smell that smell, even though it's just because it's just lingering, But that's great. That's great. And that's the best. That right there, you don't have to sell anything. That right there is going to sell it. You just tell that story. Anytime you're talking about any indoor air quality product that you own, you just tell that story, and there's no sale involved.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I told a guy one time, and I actually did this. Like, I don't smoke in my house, but my little man cave downstairs. One time my wife and kids were out, and me and some buddies were watching a football game, and It was cold. I didn't feel like going outside, so I sat on the couch and smoked a cigarette. And my buddy looks at me and he's like, you know, Brittany's going to fuck you up, dude. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, nah, man, we're good. And she came home. I swear, probably 25 minutes later. And you got anybody who doesn't smoke knows a non-smoker is going to know that smell. She came home 20 minutes later and had no idea that I smoked a cigarette. Granted, there's a big giant return behind my couch in my man cave, but even so, she had no idea I smoked a cigarette. Haven't done it since because I'm not going to push my luck, plus for the health of my children, but she had no idea that I did it.
When that iWave came out, because that iWave kind of does the same thing as what the Remy Halo and the air scrubber does. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but is the Remy Halo, it's identical basically to the air scrubber, isn't it? It's just a different manufacturer. Am I right? Does the same thing?
I think they're all kind of the same. I'm not really that sure because I haven't really used an air scrubber yet. The Remy Halo is supposed to be like, Carrier sells the Air Night, and I only ever use like the IPG one. But I've had good luck. Well, let me take that back. The Remy Halos did a good job when they worked. We had a lot of issues where those things were going bad within like the first year. Brand new out of the box. You go to hook it up and like you plug it in, it doesn't fucking do anything. So we stopped using them. To be honest, right now I'm kind of going back and forth on what I want to use. To be honest, in my house, I have what are they? The Air Nights that you get at Carrier. They're like the 9-inch IPG ones. That's the only ones I sell because the other like regular ones, like the 5 and the 9-inch, I think they're garbage. They don't do anything. But I have had good luck with the better of them.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they're the same, but I know that you have to, for the air scrubber, and I'm sure it's the same for the Remy Halo, but you have to you don't want to hook those up to RNC. You want to hook them on the 24-volt side of the transformer. For whatever reason, they found that it causes them to stop working prematurely. So definitely hook that up directly to the transformer. Don't hook up to RNC on the board.
Well, the ones that we get, you should technically be wiring up a transformer just for that.
And they have not specified that to us. Our rep never said that you got to, add an additional transformer. Is it a bad idea? Probably not.
And I'll be honest. Do we have some hooked up where we didn't do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that the Air Night brand actually comes with a transformer in the box.
Yeah.
So
that's why.
Yeah, so that's why I told my guys, I'm like, well, if that's what comes in the box, then, hook it up the way it's supposed to be hooked up. But I have found out that some of them have been fine. Some have been a problem. So I just told the guys, when you wire them up, just use the transformer that's there with it. Absolutely. I mean, once we change brands, we don't have to, relook at that again.
Yeah, if it comes with one, use it because it's there for a reason. I'm sure they found something that wasn't working quite as well, when they didn't use the I don't know what you'd call it, the remote transformer.
Oh, yeah. Well, plus you find some units are different, depending on how many VA is being pulled in that thing. If you got like a humidifier wired up to it and something else, I mean, that transformer is probably getting maxed out.
True.
Or even if you don't put another transformer, if you up the existing transformer to like a 75 VA or something to be able to cover your ass and not just keep adding shit on top of the 40 VA that's in there.
That's what we have to do for the Train Clean Effects, the indoor, the electronic air cleaner, Train Clean Effects. It comes with a 75 VA transformer, and you got to change it out and upgrade it. If I remember right, it's been a long time since I've installed one, but I know that I had to change transformer on the ones that I installed. So
it's funny you brought them up because it's been a while now, but I did a post in our Facebook group and I said how even though I'm a Carrier guy, I actually liked the Train Clean Effects or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. I thought that it was a good unit. And guys like ripped me apart. Even like some Train guys are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ. I just said I thought it was a nice little air cleaner.
They
Has there
were,
been like issues with that or something?
well, when they first came out, I know there was issues, and then they had issues with people washing it's like a honeycomb type. What it looks like to me is like stir stick straws for your coffee that are all glued together, and that's where the air has to travel
Mhm.
through, and that's where it like gives a positive charge or negative. I don't know which one, positive and then it goes through the collector cells, and that's where you've got the negative charge that causes all the particles to stick inside of there. So I know they had problems with those, and we had to like go back. There was like a recall. We had to go back and swap those cells out. That was many years ago, probably like 14 years ago. So, but I know they've got that stuff worked out. We've only installed a couple of them, but I can tell you that the ones that we did install, there were people that were having trouble with dust. Like they lived in the country, and they would have to dust their dust the shelves off like twice a week or 3 times a week, and they just couldn't keep up with the dust. But as soon as we put that thing in, man, the dust is knocked down to nothing. Like I think she was going like every 2 weeks or once a month she had to dust, where before it was like 3 times a week. So they really do work.
Yeah, they do. Carrier has their capture and kill stuff, which is like the same. It's pretty much the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
They have two different ones. There's one that's like the Infinity, like the higher end, and I think it's like a standard performance. The only problem that I have with them sometimes is they're so fucking big.
Yeah.
They're wide.
Yeah.
Just trying to be able to fit them in places, and then just the added expense. I'm really big on media filters. I didn't even put those electronic air cleaners in my house. I really, really love the April Air. What is it? The 2200. I know it's a pain in the ass changing the filters with the little like combs you got to stick in and snap in. You know what I'm talking about?
Space Guard. Yeah.
Space Guard.
Yeah.
Yes. I know they're a pain in the ass, but I'm sorry, for media filters, I can't think of one that's better than those. I love them.
Yeah.
I change them every 6 months at my house, like clockwork. I have them auto shipped, so I don't even got to worry about work. They just show up at my house every 6 months, and I'm like, oh, gotta change the filter. And they're between those and the UV lights, it's fucking great. I love them.
Oh, you got to have a great system there. So the only thing with the Space Guards is they're typically more money. I mean, I'm thinking they're like $55 to $60 or $65. Our cost. So versus, just the regular MERV 8 or MERV 10 or whatever, Air Bear style type filter. But I do think you're right. I think that there's a way more surface area on those Space Guards than there is on just a regular Air Bear filter, because there's not nearly as many pleats on the Air Bear.
Yeah, because the system I had in this house before this was it actually wasn't even that bad of a system, but I just wanted to replace both of them. The one system I had, it was like the older model style Rheem heat pump, and that one had like a regular, like, what was it, like a 20 by 25 by 4 filter, and I was putting the what is it, like the MERV 13 box filters in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was good, but they were just getting dirty as hell, and I still noticed. I guess it's hard to do a fair comparison because I didn't have UV lights in at that time either. But I don't know. Just with the new systems, I just feel like the house is a lot cleaner. So, but yeah, that's true. It's kind of hard to do a fair comparison because I'm not doing apples to apples with that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, since we're talking about filters, is if you're in a unit and you see anything that looks like mold, I know we talked about this before, and you don't want to say the mold word. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if I believe that or not, but I do know that they make these little mold test kits. They're just a little swab. You just break the swab open, swab, 6 or 7 areas that you think looks like mold, and then you put it in and shake it into the liquid, and it's going to turn the color. I think they turn purple if the one that I've used. If it detects some type of mold. There's probably 1,000 different types of mold, but it's at least something where you can confirm, hey, we should do something about this so it doesn't keep spreading throughout the entire duct system. And that's like, a good time to talk about the UV lights and whatever Carrier makes. And Remy Halo and all those products that can really help solve those issues.
I've seen cops when it turns blue, it's definitely cocaine.
Yeah.
Where do you buy where would you buy those kits from?
I cannot remember the name of the company, but I think they're like $20 a piece. So it's something that I don't know if you'd want to go in. Well, the thing is you just don't see it on every house. You don't see evidence on every house. So I think it's probably worth stocking and keeping on the trucks. Have I done it yet? No, but now that we're talking about it, I'll make sure to put one on each van, and start, stocking some here at the shop, because when we see that stuff, we can actually help that with some of our IAQ products. So I will find that and I will post it. It was some I ordered it online. It was some off the wall company I'd never heard of, but the test was really good and worked well. And if you want to go forward, you can put it, package it back up and send it to them, and they'll tell you exactly what kind it is. But I'm just going to search it here real quick. Home mold test kit. Because if I see the company, I'll notice what they're called, and I'll be able to tell you.
Yeah, because I'd be interested in putting like one or two on our vans. Because like you said, it's not every house, but it's good to have. Because I come from the old school where you're not supposed to say the mold word, just because you can get yourself in trouble because we don't know what it is, If you get one of them homeowners that wants to be like, oh, well, now little Billy's sick and, they said it was mold. So I always make sure that we don't say that word. Sure. I just say it should be cleaned, and I let them say it,
And that's fine. That's probably best practices to do. But I know we didn't know that. And my guy was like, this looks like mold in here. And the customer wanted to argue with us about it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Well, okay, but let me come back and test it. So, well, no, the client actually called. She thought we were just trying to sell her something. And it just wasn't the case. So she called and talked to me because she's like a longtime customer. Like, I've been to this lady's house probably 30 times over the past 15 years because she was a customer that came with me when I started my business. So I went out there or I didn't go out there. She just called the office saying, trying to like talk crap on my guy. And I was like, well, here, let us do this. Let us at least just test it. I won't charge you anything to come test it. And we went out and tested, and sure enough, it was. And she had like somebody there with her. Like we were trying to pull one over on her or something, which was just complete bullshit. We're not trying to pull anything over on anybody. He saw a problem. He was trying to offer a solution. Anyhow, tested it, and then we sold her an air scrubber, and I'm certain that it's cleaned it up in there and killed that shit. But I don't know. It's nice to have some actual proof. If you've got some type of test with you, it's really like an eye opener for the homeowner.
Yeah. Well, when you have some kind of visual aid or some kind of actual physical proof to be able to show them that's concrete, like they see you breaking the kit, and obviously, I mean, not to state the obvious, but guys, if you're listening out there, and if you get these kits Kelly's talking about, you want the homeowner to be standing there while you're performing this. You want them to watch you scraping little pieces off, putting it in the little thing, breaking it off, and watching it change color. Don't do it yourself and, oh, it's purple, and then go to them and say, oh, look, see?
Yeah.
Because then you're leaving that open to, interpretation, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Sure. I'm not finding the actual one that we used for some reason, but I don't know what this one. I'm just searching online right now. I'm finding one at Home Depot from Mold Armor is the name of the brand, and it's $6.98 per kit. It says test mold within 48 hours. So that might not be the kit you actually want. You want like I don't know what I searched for it. Last time I searched for it, it popped right up. So but I know you can find them. They're out there. I mean, there's hundreds to pick from. So, and I'm sure they all work the same. So find some, get some on your vehicles, and, start, if you ever see it, when you do come across it, because once in a while we've all seen it, then test it, see what it is. If it turns up and changes colors of the liquid, then let's do something about it. Let's put a couple of, UV lights in and start killing that stuff. So I don't know what else you want me to say about that.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, obviously, hey guys, we took a little long on this intro, but it was a good topic. Yeah, man. I guess Kel, we'll just go right into your segment.
Let's
there,
do
buddy. All right.
Now, here's Go Make Money with Kelly McKay.
All right, guys. What's up? I'm glad to be back. And today I'm going to talk about an extremely important topic, which is the one thing. What is the one thing that a business owner needs, or you as a technician or installer or comfort specialist or manager? What do you need to take it to the next level? So we often look at this one thing and we're searching for this one thing all the time. And we often just think that there's some magic formula that's going to fix our career, fix everything in our lives, right? Fix our business. We search for this one thing. So let's talk about this one thing. Is it more calls? Are you trying to find another tech to help you out in the field? How about training? Is it training right now for you? Maybe it's money for a new vehicle. Or new, whatever it is that you need. Maybe you're ready to find a shop to operate out of. So you're in the search of, finding a building. Maybe you're a tech that wants to, earn more money through sales. So you need some sales training. Maybe it's rebranding your company. I mean, the list goes on. And I'm sure at least at one point in time that I probably listed, one of those things that you needed, at least at some point. So, have you figured out what the actual one thing is yet? That's the question. And I'm going to give you the answer. So, the one thing that you need. You're right. The one thing that you need right now is always the one thing you need to do right now. So let me explain that a little deeper. So, growing your business or growing your career or anything, I mean, it's like hiking a mountain. The path isn't straight. The weather can turn shitty real fast, or it can be bright and sunny and be beautiful. You feel good sometimes. Other times you might feel like shit and not have any energy. And the path can change in an instant. It could start snowing. Whatever the case, obstacles are everywhere. So when you know that the destination is getting to the top of that mountain, you continue to course correct. You find ways around the obstacles. You keep moving forward. Sometimes you're going to lose your footing. You're going to slide down a section of the mountain. So maybe you change your gear. You put on your better shoes, or you find a better stick, or whatever the case, so you can climb more efficiently. And after climbing for a while, you learn different methods that allow you maybe not to tire so quickly. You may even hire a guide to help navigate the mountain so you can actually make it safely. And I hope you get the drift of what I'm talking about here, guys, because business growth, career growth, it all comes with falling flat on your face once in a while. You're going to slip down. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to slip down the mountain, but you have to stay persistent and have the commitment and the dedication to keep climbing. But the answer is there's no magic formula. Persistence, commitment, dedication, that's going to be the closest thing to a magic formula out there. And there's things that you can do to improve your business. There's always the one thing. And your one thing may be changing, maybe charging more, maybe having a sales process, more training, hiring a coach, making a phone call, answering an email, or hiring someone. It's that one thing is what you need to do right now. There is no one thing. Let me repeat what I said earlier. The one thing you need to do right now is always the one thing you need to do right now. If you want to change your business, change your life, change your career, change your relationships, change your money situation, you already know what you need to do. You just need to have the discipline, the commitment, the persistence, the dedication to start doing it right now. So get busy doing it. Take the next step. And remember, that one thing you need right now is always the one thing you need to do right now. So strap up your boots and start climbing.
Yeah, guys, and every successful person, no matter what they're successful in, they all have one thing in common. They've all failed a shitload of times. You go out there and you ask any, all these millionaires or something like that, and they're going to tell you they failed until eventually they fucking got it right. You cannot be afraid to fail, because anyone who is ever going to be successful is going to have to fail quite a few times before they eventually figure shit out. And I think that some guys, there's no such thing as a comfort zone. Well, there is, but you don't want to be in there. Because the only way you're ever going to get anywhere, grow as a person, grow as a business, you have to get out of that comfort zone. You have to do things that are uncomfortable. You have to put those risks out there. Because if you don't, shit's never going to happen. I mean, whether that is in a business, in your career, whatever you choose to do, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone to do any of those things you want to do. I mean, just to be successful in anything. So, what Kelly said makes perfect sense.
I was just going to reiterate, that's funny that you said that, comfort zone, because it's one of those things that it's like good is the enemy of great. So people get comfortable, and maybe you're comfortable right now. Maybe you've been comfortable for a long time. Maybe you just reached a comfortable state. It doesn't matter. You don't want to stay in comfortable. Comfortable is a dangerous place to be, because then you don't have the same expectations for yourself. And as soon as you start lowering your expectations for yourself, you're going to start seeing the results from exactly that show up in your life. So always be looking forward. That's what life is about. It's about growth, period. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be, and it don't matter what level you're at. I'll say that too. If you get to a certain level, don't think that that's going to be it. Don't say, when I get this, I'm going to be this, because you're not. You're going to be looking to the next thing. There's been so many growth goals that I've seen and accomplished in my life, just whatever, whether it be stay in business, whether it be, okay, I'm gonna add 200,000 of revenue this year. Okay, well, we've hit goals like that in the past, and it's one of those things that just because you hit it, things don't really change. You just set a new goal, and then you go for that one. So just remember that. Don't stay comfortable. There is no magic pill, period. Just keep learning, keep doing one or two things each day, every day, to better yourself, to better your business, to better your relationship, whatever that may be, that you want to improve. And that's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like you say, comfort zone, I'll use like a sports analogy. Like if you ever hear people say, like, say football, for instance, they'll win on Sunday and they're talking to the analyst or whatever it is after the game, and you'll hear people say, oh yeah, this was a big win, but come Monday on to blah, blah, blah. Once you reach a goal, you can't enjoy it too long, because you got to start moving on to the next one. So I don't know. I hope that's coming around.
No, I think that's absolutely, you're 100% right. Here's one more thing that I got to say, is that no matter what, you will not exceed your identity. Now listen to me when I say this, and listen good. You will not exceed your identity. So whatever you think it is, if you sit here and tell yourself, well, I'm not good at heat pumps, I'm not good with people, I'm not good with asking for the sale, I'm not good with, I'm not a morning person, I can't get up early, whatever it is, you're going to make sure you will make sure not to exceed that. If that's who you are, and that's who you keep telling yourself that you are, you'll never exceed that. So that's what I'm trying to say. You'll never exceed your identity. So if you want to be somebody different and have better results, no matter in what it is, we're all looking to have some better results in some area of our lives. So you got to decide who that person, what would a person who does these things, what would he do? What would she do? How would somebody go about getting up an hour earlier in the morning so they have time to plan their day a little better, or do, exercise, or have time to think and journal? How would that person act? They're probably going to go to bed a little earlier and stop staying up till 2:00 in the morning. They're going to have to set an alarm, obviously. They're going to have to not hit snooze. So it's like Mel Robbins, I think's her name. She's was a TED speaker. She says that it's the 5-second rule. So she says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then she gets up and does it. Whatever it is that her mind is trying to tell her, just hit the snooze. I'm going to stay here, or I don't feel like working out today. I'm not going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. And she just goes and does it. And it's just a way to beat your mind from talking you into excuses. And another thing that I'll say, and I'm sorry, I'm being long-winded here, Gil, but you have to have big reasons. You got to have big reasons. I just had this conversation with my team on Monday. If you don't have, your reasons are 70 times more powerful than the how. Don't worry about the how you're going to get your goals, how you're going to make things change. How big are your reasons? Because the bigger the reason, the more likely that you're going to take action and do what needs to be done in order to hit those goals. So, but stop telling yourself those bullshit stories, because you're not going to exceed that identity if you keep telling yourself that. And we all have these stories, no matter what it is. It'll be, man, I wish I could grow my business, but the market I'm in, it's too little. Okay, well, that's my story. That's a bullshit story. I can do things differently. Maybe I'm holding myself back. Maybe I need to move my business to the bigger town next over. It's whatever your story is. I would get up early, but I got to stay up late with the baby. Well, I know there's lots of people out there with babies that keep them up. And you know what? A lot of them still get up early in the morning and do the shit that they need to do to move their lives forward. So stop listening to these excuses. Get up and get going.
Well, you want to start to, and I know we didn't plan on going this long, but fuck it, who cares? And I know I've said this before, guys, and I hate to keep beating this up, but you guys all know that I was an addict in my life, and all I ever did was make fucking excuses. I became an expert at making excuses for everything. So when I got myself straight and I got myself clean, I was like, you know what? I have wasted such and such amount of time. I went into fucking like hyperdrive. I'm like, you know what? Well, now I got to make up for all that time that I lost, because I see friends and they're at this point in their life and they're doing this, and you know what? I'm going to play catch up. So that's exactly what Kelly would just say, what I would do. When I would wake up and I wouldn't feel like doing something, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Get up, Gil. Get the fuck up. Do what you got to do. Get out. I would always I was always doing something. I was never letting myself rest, and I was setting little goals for myself. And I meet that goal, all right, fucking set another one. I meet that goal, set another one. And I just wanted to start knocking them out. And then once you start doing that, your confidence gets up, and then you start to realize, like, fuck, man, I can do this. You start to have a little more self-pride in what you're doing, and you start to realize when you actually put your mind to something, you can do anything that you fucking want to do. And I know people say that sounds cliche, as what you tell little kids, but it's the fucking truth, guys. And I know we're talking about HVAC, but we want all you guys to be successful in whatever it is that you do. So don't ever be held back. Don't be one of those people that, you're happy with just, eking by in life. I mean, if that's your choice, you're in that position because you choose to be. Because if you choose to get out of it, then you would. It's that simple. I won't take it too far, but just know, whatever the fuck that you want to do, if you put your mind to it, you can fucking do it. It's that simple.
Yeah, and I'll leave you with this one thought right here. This one question, what areas of your life right now would you say need more focus from you right now? And focus on those things. You know what's lacking in your life. And I'm telling you right now, if you focus on those things, you're going to feel more fulfilled. You're going to feel more energized. Because that's the thing too. And Gil can attest to this, because I guarantee you, when you start getting those little micro wins and you start winning and you're hitting your goals and you're accomplishing things, I don't care how small they are, it gives you energy. And energy is what you need to be successful. Like, you got to have the energy, because it's energy is what's going to take you down. So the more anything you can do to up your energy, which includes hitting goals, exercising, doing the right things, try to eat a little healthier meal per day, just one meal. Then you can eat shit the rest of the day and you do your fast food. Dude, I don't know about you, Gil, but for probably 15 years, I hit drive-thrus every single day. Every single day I hit a drive-thru. It was like once a month did we sit down somewhere and probably had a meal that was probably worse for me than the drive-thru food. But and then I feel sluggish afterwards and I feel like shit and I overeat. Like I don't know what it is. It was ingrained in me as a child. And I remember going to a babysitter and they were like, I couldn't get up unless I ate some of my peas, right? And I fucking hate peas. And then she would have spinach some days and I'd have to eat some of the fucking spinach. It was disgusting. And so I would like tuck it under itself to make it look like I had taken a bite, but something like, and I always have this thought in the back of my mind, like a clean plate's a happy plate. So every time I sit down to a meal, man, I would finish my fucking plate every time. I don't care how miserable I was. I finished my plate and I'm in the middle right now of breaking that cycle. Like I'm getting to be okay. And this may sound ridiculous to some of you, but some of you you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm getting to the point where I'm okay that I still have food left on my plate. And that's a big breakthrough for me. So no matter what it is that you're trying to do, because I want to lose a little bit of weight. I want to feel better. I feel sluggish all the time. So I'm trying to do, even if it's just the one thing, that's my one thing right now for my health. So whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to feel better, just do it, man. And don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about anything else, because ultimately all that matters is how you feel, how you show up every day. Anything you can do to improve how you show up every day is going to improve your life, period.
Definitely. And I love peas and spinach, just so you know. So that shit don't bother me. I can eat all that. When it comes to eating, man, just remember, guys, you can't put shit in your body and expect to get fucking, A+ energy and quality out of it. So, I mean, we won't get into that topic too much, but Kelly brought up a good point. I mean, you can't. It's like if you have some really nice race car, you're not going to put fucking regular unleaded gas in it, You're going to put some good stuff in there because you're going to want that thing to perform well. You got to think of your body as the same way. You're putting shit in your body and wonder why you're always tired and sluggish and have no energy. I noticed when I started changing my diet, it changes. Sometimes it's gradually, but it definitely makes a huge fucking difference.
I just heard somebody say something that helped them get in the right frame of mind so they could stay away from, just sitting on the couch eating a bag of potato chips. It's just that, my body is I'm a high performance athlete. Just saying that to themselves, having those affirmations. Affirmations are powerful. We've talked about them before. But that could be, that's something that you could say to yourself to help you make a better decision. But I don't know how we got off on diet, but anyhow, I think it's all good shit, man. It's all good shit. Well, just what do you need to focus on right now? What areas of your life need more of your focus right now? Focus on those.
Alrighty. Now we're
moving on.
Now time to say what with Gil Kelley.
Alrighty. Now that we talked about what you shouldn't eat, what you shouldn't shove in your ass, and all that good stuff, just a brief little topic that we won't spend too much time on this, that me and Kelly were talking about, is like workplace injuries. First of all, one is, well, I guess one of the most important is how to not have a workplace injury. Guys, you want to work smart, not hard. So granted, you might be young, tough, you got these muscles, and you want to show them off, and you want to, oh, I can carry that furnace in the basement by myself. Okay, and that's gonna, and you fucking tear your back out, and then what? That proves nothing. Nobody gives a fuck. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm just saying be smart. Just because you're strong enough to do something doesn't mean you should do it. If you got two guys there, let somebody help you carry something. Be smart in that factor. And then if you do get hurt, and I'm going to get Kelly's opinion on this as a business owner too. If you do get hurt at work, I'm trying to make sure I say this right. All of us get little, nicks and bruises and pains when we're at work just because we're in a physical demanding job. But don't be one of those pieces of shit that, you're making an injury worse than it is and you're filing a workman's comp claim and blah, blah, blah. Because especially when you're a smaller shop, like my company, a real bad workman's comp claim can shut the fucking doors, man. But granted, that's why we pay into that insurance. That's what it's there for. So if you legitimately get hurt at work, then hey, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not saying lie about it. I mean, if you get hurt and it's legitimate, then hey, you go through the process and do what you got to do. But don't be one of those pieces of shit that you might have hurt your back fucking messing around with your kids or fucking with your buddies on the weekend. And then come Monday, it's like, oh man, I fell off a ladder kind of deal. I just heard some stories about this and I don't know. I just thought that I would bring that up. I don't know. What's your opinion about this, Kel?
Yeah. I mean, one thing that you were starting to say there, if you own your business or something, I will say that Mike Aguilera always says, I don't know if he made this up or somebody else, he got it from somewhere else. I don't know, but he says one of anything in your business is none. And I think that's a really powerful statement because if you get hurt and you're a one-man shop, you have none. You have no business if you can't work anymore, if you get hurt. So you got to always think about that. You got to duplicate yourself. But when it comes to getting workman's comp claims, I've had a couple. Had a guy that came to work for us the very first day. We swing a package unit on the roof of a little restaurant. We get it, jumps up there. He's up there by himself and he's stripping the packaging off the top of the unit. Most ridiculous thing ever. Like I don't know, 10-year guy, 10-year veteran, knew what he was doing, somehow stripped it off and it just cut the piss out of his leg. I mean, split it open. I mean, it was disgusting. It was like right on the side of his calf, like the inside of his calf. That's where like, I don't even know what hit him, but something hit him and it just split it open like 6-7 inches wide. The thing was open like 2.5 inches wide. You could see all the meat in there. It was disgusting and scary, but he went and that was a workman's comp claim. And then I don't know where I'm going with this other than that's something, you hurt yourself like that. You better check in with workman's comp because, I know he had some issues down the road too. And that's what workman's comp does is make sure that you're taken care of. If it's a serious injury that you're going to have future issues with. But little cuts, you cut the palm of your hand or something, man, just throw some tape on that shit. Be a man. Stop being a bitch. But I think that's what Gil was trying to say. Stop being a bitch. You got some electrical tape in your truck, don't you? You got some napkins from that fast food meal you had today. Grab those napkins, wrap it up. Now, I'm not trying to be like too hardcore about that, but I just think there's men and there's boys, and the boys are going to run to the friggin' hospital to go get a Band-Aid, and the men are going to wrap it up and keep working. And the majority of us in this industry are men. So I don't know what else to say about that, Gil. Do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And real fast with what you're talking about, not at my job when I used to do stuff for my father-in-law. He has an import-export business, like those metal banding machines that you put around like cargo freight and stuff. I had one of those break off and it sliced right down the front of my leg. And it was like that. I have a scar going down my the front of my shin that's like probably 6 inches. And that shit looked just how you described the guy for you. My leg looked just like that. It was pretty nasty.
Back to the hurt back. You know, one of the reasons we're talking about this, guys, is because I know you don't mind if I say this, Gil, but Gil's, you tweaked your back, and it's so easy for us to do. I mean, you could make the littlest move or just turn the wrong way while you've got something in your hands or you're lifting something. Hell, you can bend over to tie your shoes and throw your back out. I've done that. But the bottom line is you got to be safe. So one of the things that is bad when it comes to Matt Mitchell, he's a good friend of Gil's and I's, and he posted that he has a slip disc, and it was hitting his sciatic nerve. And have you had that, Gil? Did we talk about that? Have you had the sciatic nerve pain before? Oh, it's like,
yes, yeah.
I posted on there on Facebook. I was like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy because it's so fucking painful, and it just doesn't go away. There's nothing you can do to just make it stop until it just finally the swelling goes down or whatever causes it. And some people are unfortunate enough to have the disc slip so bad that the only way to stop that pain is to get surgery. And I hope that that's not Matt's, I hope he starts feeling better. But I did it. I'd sleep on the couch for about 3 months sitting up, went to the chiropractor, went to the doctor. They just told me it was a slip disc, hit my which gave me sciatica. Could only take about 20 steps at a time without squatting down to relieve it. It would just relieve the pressure a little bit. But one of the things that causes that is when you lift something and you twist. So guys, don't lift anything and twist. Make sure you're right in front of it and you're moving forward with it. Don't ever grab something and twist it. So that's where I was ultimately getting to. Sorry, I'm fucking long-winded tonight, Gil.
No, you're fine, man. It's good. But yeah, some of you guys that if been following me for a while know that I hurt my back a while back, and I don't know, man. I wasn't barely even doing anything. It's just something stupid, like Kelly just said. I was just leaning over to get something, and bam. But I guess when I brought this up, more so than workman's comp claims and all that kind of shit, I guess I brought this topic up more so as awareness for guys, just to be safe, to be careful what you're doing, so those kind of things aren't needed. You might be a strong physical guy, especially the younger guys. You might think that, you're full of piss and vinegar and, oh man, I can carry this and do that. And maybe you can, but guess what? If you do that, you're not getting a fucking trophy there, Hoss. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. As long as it gets up into the attic, it gets put in its spot. It doesn't matter how it happened, whether you did it, people did it, as long as it got up to where it's got to go. So that's why I'm bringing this up. Like I have and I know who'll listen, young Mo. Mo is strong as a fucking ox. He really is. That's why we call him the Nigerian Nightmare. He is. He's a strong young guy. He can pick up a lot of things, but I tell him, be smart, man. I know you can lift that up, and I know it probably makes your pride feel good when you pick it up and everybody's like, oh my God, look, that big black guy picked up that furnace. But nobody fucking cares. I'm like, dude, but say the one time you slip, you rip your back out and you can't work, then what? You know what I mean? It's not a contest. So that's why I'm bringing it up, guys. Just be careful when you're out there. And I always say that. Work smart, not hard. And some guys hear that and they think that means be fucking lazy. That's not what that means. It just means that you're going to be efficient with what you do, and you're going to be careful about what you're doing, and you're not going to do something to put yourself in harm's way. It's that simple.
Yeah, take it from us old fucks. You are not Superman. Period. I used to think I was Superman, I guess. I mean, I would work freaking till 8 o'clock at night, then come home and hit my home gym and hit it hard for like another hour, and then get a shower, go to bed, get up and do it again. But there'll be a time you get hurt, man. Sooner or later, you're gonna get hurt if that's the way you're operating right now. You just got to be aware, be careful, and you're not Superman. You may be strong as hell right now, but as you get a little older, you're liable to just twist the wrong way, do something just a little bit wrong, and some people don't ever recover from those back injuries, man. It's with them the rest of their life. So it's a scary deal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is scary. I mean, I have ankle injuries that I have from like football and different things that I'm going to carry that stuff with me the rest of my life. I mean, it's just something that's never going to go away. And like Kelly said about us older guys, I mean, yeah, me and Kelly aren't old, but one thing is when you're in a field like this is so demanding, it makes you feel older. So that's why those guys that are in their 50s and 60s and they're still doing this, dude, you got to give those guys nothing but respect, man. I mean, for as long as they've been doing this and can only imagine what their bodies have been through, I mean, it's crazy that they're that age and they're still able to do this, especially the guys that I'm not talking about the guys who started in the trade at 40 and now they're 60. I'm talking about the guys who started in the trade when they were 13 and now they're 60. You know, those guys put in their fucking time and their bodies sure have as well.
Yeah. And trust me, they're feeling it. They're feeling it now more than ever. So just like with your ankle, you know, those injuries through your youth, you know, when you're top of your game, it's like when you get a little older, I guarantee you, your ankles it's gonna be a little worse, you know. You just don't heal quite as fast. You don't bounce back quite as fast as you used to when you're, you know, 25 to 30 years old and just killing it. But I don't know.
Yeah, you start getting too old.
Get old.
Things don't stand up like they used to either. You know.
Well, I don't know about you, but
it haven't, fellas. It's all right.
I can tell you what. Being somebody who is, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go there, but I can tell you what. But I've read for years that about the age of 32, that's when your testosterone starts to drop. And I can attest to you right now, it does. You don't have quite that aggression that you once had. Not that you can't muster some up, because I do it all the time, because it keeps me fired up and keeps me feeling good. But it's not just natural anymore. It's not, because that testosterone makes you aggressive, makes you want to throw that furnace up into the attic and say, watch this motherfucker, and throw this furnace into the attic. I mean, it's testosterone. And as you get a little older, you start to lose some of that. So I'm just telling you,
well, maybe it's the estrogen that makes me want to start making sandwiches for everybody. Then I'm just kidding.
He makes good sandwiches. Yeah. So you're not Superman, man. I'm just gonna tell you, that's great that you're strong and healthy right now. So just protect that, because we only get one life, and you throw your back out for trying to throw your weight around and try to impress somebody. You ain't impressed. Just like Gil said, you ain't impressing anybody. They don't give a fuck. As long as that furnace gets up and puts in place, or the compressor gets put where it needs to go, or the condenser gets, it doesn't matter. So anytime you're moving that big equipment, get somebody to help you to a certain extent. I mean, shit, I change condensers all day because we're getting ready to get back into the good days again, Gil. Like, you remember back in the day when you could just sell a condenser because there was no, it was all R22. So, dude, we sold condensers all day long, and I'd just run to the supply house, pick one up, go back and install it all by myself. And I don't really see a problem with that as long as you're careful sliding it down the back of the van. And just the main things, anytime you're lifting and moving stuff around, is just don't get aggressive with it in any twisting motion. Make sure your feet are stable before you start moving it to protect yourself. Because we get in a hurry sometimes and we just want to throw it over here or scoot it over there, and that's what'll get you. So make every move intentional. Don't just do something because you're not thinking. Be sure to think before you involve those muscles and before you pull something in your back and hurt yourself. So, or get a fucking hernia, for fuck's sake. I mean, hernias can happen too, Thank God I've never had one. Have you ever had one, Gil?
No. It was, I thought we had a hernia, but it was the evil testicle syndrome. No, but I remember my father, well, I wasn't around yet, but I know my father had a real bad hernia where they went into his belly button and he didn't have a belly button anymore. Because I remember being kids and they'd be like, where's Pop's belly button? Can't find it. That
Right.
like that kind of deal. But I know my dad went through hell with his.
You don't want one of those, man. You don't have to go get surgery for it, and they don't ever just get better and heal themselves. You got to go get it fixed. So, and making some wrong move or lifting something you shouldn't be lifting, that's how that shit happens. So just be careful, guys. Protect yourselves. Protect yourselves at all times.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Protect yourself. Oh, what's so funny? It's not funny.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Sorry, pressing buttons. I'm gonna change all that up soon. But all right, guys. Me and Kelly are getting back into it this week, and me and Kelly have sat down and a lot of changes that we're gonna make. Well, not necessarily changes, but things that we are gonna do in the podcast and make some different things for you guys. But it was definitely good to be back this week and start to get back into a groove. But let's start closing this thing out, my friend.
Sounds good, guys. It's really good to be back. First and foremost, really good to be back. So, I hope our buddy Matt gets well soon. I hope that's not a lagging injury. I hope he's like me. I got lucky, and with mine, I bought one of those inversion tables. If you've got back problems on the regular, like you find yourself going to the chiropractor every spring, my hip would start hurting like hell. And I'd have to go like 6-7 visits to the chiropractor to get it straightened back up. And what it was from is leaning over condensers all day. It's just not good on your body. I was washing condensers, washing 8 condensers a day or whatever. And you can easily throw yourself out of whack. And wearing a wallet that's too fat, that every time you sit down on a wallet. So for years, I didn't wear my wallet because every time I did, it started throwing my hips out. So if you got a hip something that's throwing your hips out and you're not quite sure what it is, stop wearing your wallet and see what happens. I'll bet it'll stop. But I guess where I'm going with all this is just, I hope Matt gets better and I hope you get better, Gil, and just be careful. Try to protect yourself anytime you're lifting anything, because you guys got a long career ahead of you that we got to take care of. So, but remember that question I asked you earlier is, what areas of your life would you say need more focus from you right now? Also, real quick, I'm going to plug this, Gil, but at www.hvacserviceready.com, I do now have a monthly subscription. So if you're interested in checking out that content, just sign up. There's a free 7-day trial to check it out. If it's not for you, unsubscribe. If you like it, I'm going to continue to put videos in there with more and more content to bring the information you need to move your career and your business. But guys, bottom line, go make money.
Yeah, good stuff, Kel. Definitely check out Kelly's stuff at Service Ready. It's good stuff there, man. And I've already said it before. I don't say that because Kelly's my friend and co-host. I say that because he's putting out good stuff that you guys need to check out. Also from me, Matt, brother, I hope you feel better, man. I should be good. I'm getting better. I think Mr. Lee had another mishap. I don't know the details, but I know he's doing better now. So Mr. Lee, stay strong over there, old timer. Keep yourself healthy and doing what you got to do. But guys, as always, man, we thank you guys so much. We're trying to keep getting better and better and put out better content for you guys. Thank you guys for downloading and listening. You guys have been amazing. You guys know the routine. You can check out the podcast on all the major podcast apps, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff. You can always reach us go to our website, HVAC or www.hvac.uncensored.com. You can email us, www.hvac@gmail.com. Sorry, having a brain fart there. But you guys know all this. So we thank you guys. We appreciate you. We remember this podcast would be nothing without you. We're trying to take this thing into 2019 fucking strong. I mean, we're gonna jam it right in that motherfucker. So as always, guys, remember, always try to do better, be better, and just fucking get better. Just do it. You know what I mean? Stay safe. you always want to make it home better. Better. You always want to make it home the same way you left. And remember, be better than the next guy. Always do what the next guy's not doing. Set yourself apart. Until then,
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.